Guten Tag, meine lieben Damen und Herren. First of all, I have to say a few words. When I was 20, I used to live in this land, in Munich, in Bavaria. And there is a lot of my very good friends who still my very good friends. It's very important if you keep the friendship for 35 years. And some very nice people, they're also from media, and Theo Hartel, Jochen Kraus, and Arnold Ballmann, who, if maybe you know, who was a head of RTL in Brussels. And I want to say thank you to Bayerish people and Bayerish land, because without this, I will be not transformed and came in 35 years after to tell you about blockchain technology. Danke schön for Bavaria. I will transform a little bit. But this is transformation. It's not a question which we will try to find out now what is a transformation or it's a metamorphosis. Because transformation is, like when the digital arrived, like internet, it became a transformation. But with blockchain, it's became metamorphosis. So transformation, if you can talk about transformation, will be much more stronger than when the internet has appeared. You can just really compare this with electricity. So the world after blockchain will be different as much as it became different after the electricity will arrive. So, the miners, let's say 150 years ago, if they will ask what they will mine next, and people will say coins, they will say what? But if you will say it will be virtual coins, they will say what? And I think they will use their tool, not for mine, but to make your session of exorcism. That's how the people will not do any idea how they change the world in the near future. And I just find out that many people do not understand it, still do not understand it. Only emerging markets and new territory, now they have a big boom for all this hype. So over my long career, I will never see the biggest hype when the people, when the young, especially young generation, which is the future, they build the future for themselves. They go to this kind of business, and they can make millions of real value, real cash just during one day, during 1 month. So I start to invest in blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, where this was cost nothing. And 2 years ago in Munich, it was beginning of 2015, I was in another event called DLD. And I tried to tell to all my friends who is investors, say, please invest in technology, please invest. The Bitcoin was cost that time 190. Now it's a 6,000 something. So can you imagine how much? But Bitcoin is the most conservative asset. So we have a lot of more different assets who raise a much more percentage. So after this cryptocurrency, the company called Ethereum, which is on the Zug in Switzerland, they create the smart contracts and they start to work with the smart contracts. And smart contracts will replace a lot of jobs, of course. It's one way it's a threat, but it's another way it's a challenge. Challenge to be multifunctional, because In that, the last time you say, okay, this guy is a lawyer and he all his life lawyer, or steuerberater, all his life steuerberater. Now you must be multifunctional. Your kids must be multifunctional. So they use one off top. During these 2 days in Munich now, I found that 99% have no clue what is a blockchain technology. So I a little bit change and transform my presentation, which I prepare. So I will talk several times the same during my presentation, just to that you will understand and at least remember it. So the blockchain, it's they have 4 pillars. It's a decentralized. So you need to understand why it will be big changes. Because before, you know, it's Industry 4.0 token. All these waves of industrial revolutions, let's say after Renaissance, bring to us centralization. So everything became centralized. A power, a government, a media, and distribution, production, centralized. So now the time of decentralization. And now the technology which appear, because you know if someone is go to the stock market, you know that any ticket can always go up, 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 sometimes need correction. Or big correction after big rise. So at least it's a huge correction, at least the time for huge correction, and technology which is decentralized everything in this world. So they start with a fintech, but we will talk about a little bit later. So it's a decentralized. This is identity. It's completely identity. The whole piece of your content or transaction or anything, it will be have your own passport or identity, which will be strong because it's a transparency in any kind of usage. You will see all transaction and trusted and secure. So decentralized of everything will start from Bitcoin. Then it will go for smart contracts, then for Internet of Things, then industrial Internet of Things, energy of things. So energy will be decentralized energy also. If someone will need to explain how it works after session about media, I can talk to you about everything. Then economy of things and wisdom economy. I will later told you a little bit. And data mining, this is our main topic. In the end, I will explain about data mining, how it will change the media industry. So the data mining was a big future of this. It will be main topics. And especially for media, why? Because there are a lot of data just around content. And I will also explain later, but now you can see the numbers of the 2016, 2017, how big the data is. But can you imagine the next generation of network, of mobile network, which will allow you to send a huge files or stream. So it will be 500 exabytes, which is a little bit mistake, 10 and 18. If you go to mathematics, huge things. So, of course, you know what you heard about what is mean Internet of Things. Internet of Things, where there is billions of devices that all of us, and also our smart homes, smart city, big devices, a lot of devices, variable, will be connect and interconnect. And there will go a lot of data. So all IoT and industrial Internet of Things, this will be based on this technology, which is decentralized technology. And so the next will come also Internet of Content. So every single piece of the content will have his own capsule with the identity. And this Internet of Content will be decentralized. So it's not will be a centralized platform or centralized channel. It will be completely decentralized things. For example, small example, if I will send now SMS to any of you, my text message will go to my telecom operator, then it's go to long, 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 thousands of miles, and then you receive it, which is we just 1 meter from each other. So that's why we need a decentralization, because the big terabytes of information, if you will send to this long, long, long way, first of all, it will be useless. The second, it will be latency. Latency, so you not to be online, really online. For, let's say, for the sport or for any other events, we use latency, it's very important. So latency is very important to communicate to all Internet of Things. If latency will be for the drones or autonomous car, so 1 millisecond can cost you a life for the people. So that's why completely decentralized system will hold not only industrial Internet of Things or Internet of Things, but also Internet of Content. So this is metamorphosis because there is a lot of changes will be. So changes will be in nanopayments. So let's say if I subscribe now for some streaming service, which is popular, still popular now, like Spotify or any videos streaming service. Let's take a Spotify. I have to pay subscription 8, 6, 10 euro, depends on territory, for unlimited usage. But I don't need unlimited usage. I want to pay just to the small part if I need to listen the chorus of the song. Or maybe read a small article in the newspaper. I don't need to want to subscribe to newspaper, or just phrase or quotes from newspaper. So with this nano payment, but I cannot pay for this because that's why sub-model of the advertising monetization of the per view in YouTube exists, because I cannot pay 0.000 cent to YouTube or to Spotify. There is no transaction, no bank or no credit card will allow me to send 1 cent, but not 0.001 cents. But blockchain does. So it will be completely disrupt this monetization for the long tail and for the creators, of course. So co-creation real time. So during the streaming, if you give access, so the people can co-create this content. They can add to the storytelling, they can add the local stories, they can add his story and make also access. It will be allowed by streaming. So to the end device, or what doesn't matter what it will be in the next future, you will receive already your content, exactly your content. So the co-creation also with smart content, if you just add something to this content and you part like a 0.01% of ownership of your content or co-creation, the smart content will immediately in the real time can distribute your royalty. You need to wait for years from this copyright after society. So adaptive media, which means they will take your files and it will be decentralized files and you can mix it, edit it in any time you want. And will be adapted of your behavior. If you are a little bit sad, they will make your adaptive media around you with the sound or with pictures, what you want. And if you are happy, if you just make a run or in gym, so the music can be played according to your heartbeat or according to your run without any changes. And it will be, this mix or this editing will be only for you or only for the company in your home. So it will be adaptive according to your behavior, according to your, how the machine will know you. So this will be only possible for the decentralization system like blockchain, not on the centralized web server or streaming how it is now. And then it's, of course, mixed reality. So it's a big hype. This will be absolutely disrupt all the existing 2D and 3D because a mixed reality will be, you will not understand if in this hole, I don't know, some dinosaurs come or some other people or I don't know, Michael Jackson. And holograms, of course. This also will be possible in the big. Of course, you can see now that some holograms as a test by web server. but it's only test things. It's not go to the mass market. Mass market will be only when the blockchain will combine with the new generation of network. It's called 5G. And of course, a new form of monetization, it's monetization of the data. So I will explain about this later a little bit by slide of data. So this is the cycles of TV media. So you see the cycles and we see where we are now. And this is a cycle called decentralized system. You see how the internet now fight with existing line. So this is a previous two disrupting models for the existing media. So according to Paul Tasca, you can see that the next media cannot be centralized. It can be only decentralized. And now time when creators are frustrated with the centralized video platforms. The Amazon go for Oscar, Netflix go for Emmy, and the $8 billion Netflix content, and they will raise and raise more money for the streaming. So this is now is already shaken, and they're waiting for the big things which calls blockchain. So Bitcoin, if you heard about the Bitcoin, is not really money. It's only asset. It's only registered, and it is called balance, and your balance. That's it. So blockchain can do all these things with all data. It's not only Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is just example how you can use it in any other things, especially in media. So decentralizes identity, trust and secure, transparency and any kind of usage, and some level of anonymity. But when people say, oh, Bitcoin is something criminal, nothing. It's so transparency. There is no criminal. Don't listen to it. So usually Bitcoin, the blockchain goes first to the fintech, to Bitcoin, but only because this mining of crypto cash makes a big hype. If someone say, okay, let's mine smart contract, nobody will do it. So let's mine cash and gold. This is how big hype came to us. So, blockchain and media. So it's a metadata, smart contracts, global decentralized database of hashes. So all your content, all your small content will have the hash, which is mean identity. Financial also is a new ways of funding. If you heard about ICO, it's a new way of crowdfunding. So there is a lot of successful ICO, 100 millions, 200 millions, 300 millions of US dollars. It's big numbers. It's big numbers. And many of them is did by 19 years old people. So nano payments, I talked to you about nano payments, immediate payments, small transaction fees. So new format, VR, mixed reality and holograms. And mixed reality is very important format. This is a format of the future of the media. I don't want to just talk a lot about this, what is a mixed reality, but it's not VR, it's not AR. The VR and augmented reality, it's just prototype where we go in. The mixed reality is the big things, change everything. And transparency, real-time feedback, you can see what's going on in real time. So, and data mining will bring to us not only smart city, but smart media, really smart media, and trading with data. So creators want a better platform, better economics, direct customer relationship, because you need to understand that blockchain technology will cut every third party. So every single middleman and third party. So between content and between viewers, there will be no one, no platform, no any other third party. Everything will be replaced by the new way of distribution, I talked about it later, and smart contract. So direct customer relation, access to customer data and analytics tools and support for managing premium content, and strong protection. So if you will see how was before, not only media, but a lot of things, whereas a service was much more dominate, and production and creators was not so big part of this. But now everything is changes, and now you can see how disrupt a lot of sectors, financial sectors, and in Germany also, and how the creators became a more value. And this, you can see how this disrupts centralized internet platforms. You can see the broadcast, it's vertical, cable satellite, vertical, internet vertical, and blockchain creator disrupt all these things. And who wins? So this is centralized platform, and this is distributed, decentralized ecosystem. So we can see this. Sorry if someone from NBC or CNN or any other company, this is kind of antique. This is a granddad. This is current idols. And this is rising morning star, which will be huge, huge, huge. Next, so I will give you an example for blockchain media. So this blockchain media will allow to music and the media and, let's say, multimedia creators to securely encode rights and identity into their digital access. So this is a new format. So not WAV, MP3 or any other. This is a new format. It's called .bc. So how it's work? So this was before, and now at the center of the universe, this is a capsule. I name it a capsule with the content. Before digital world, you might know the term called master. Master tape or master film or master. In digital world, this term is disappear because you can use and you can make a copy, unlimited copy from these masters. Unlimited, and sometimes uncontrolled. That's how piracy come and everything, uncontrolled. But the value of master is disappear. So now, this is a new format, a new capsule, when you need only one master. This is your master. This became a value, so the company or creator or library will have a value because a master will have a value. And with all this data, you can understand the real value of this master. So the master will be in the center, so it will be not distributed, but will allow to access. So in different level for co-creators or creators or any, the law, smart contract or any other services, they can in this different level of the security which allowed by smart contract, which based by smart contract, they will allow to access, unlimited access. And this will be different distribution from different way of distribution. So for example, blockchain media, this is format, of course, is global patent already. So they start to work with the music. Why music? Because it's the same file, only let's say if it's MP3, it's only 3 megabytes instead of huge file with a 4K video. So the video will go exactly the same road as a small file. It's like a small car and the big track. So the video slowly going by music, but music is always like also multimedia files. They're first. So they start to do the new way of, a new form of ecosystem. So the video and media will come in the same model. And this is a target for this company. So this is one of the disrupted. This is iTunes of the future, or Napster of the future. So then, let's come to the major topics, the data mining. So you can see the real trend of the data mining, data how it will work. So we have a technical world, which is smart transportation, smart city, smart industrial, smart energy, everything which is a technical world. And we have, of course, social world with an agent, which is your mobile phone is an agent, or Amazon, Echo, Alexa, Siri, this is your agent. And computer still agent, so it's a community group, so social world. So they will be, all this world will be interconnected together. And in the middle of this will be a mining. It's like a brain for the man body, a brain. This is data mining. Will mine all data around and will support. For the technical world, they cannot produce a lot of data because a drone, if you say, okay, drone fly from point A to point B, what is the data? Okay, you track it, not so big data. Or your robot, or your factory, not so big data, but they need the data. They need the data and they will need it as a new fuel, as a new oil. They will need it from the social world. So all these smart things will need data. Of course, just autonomous vehicle will produce a lot of data, but it's nothing compared with the social world. So how it will change? So data, it became information. And then it became to knowledge. And from knowledge, it became to the wisdom and make a right decision. And this is blockchain, data mining, blockchain. So this is called the wisdom economy. So of course we know how society will come, and let's social network came. Let's say now Cristiano Ronaldo have 300 millions of followers. Huge. 10 times more than HBO. Huge. 300 millions. 300 million followers by Twitter, Facebook. So it's a massive information. Massive. And so if we can compare with a big mountain, all this social network bring us this data. This is real data from the people, so that's why it looks like a mountain. And so we can see all this mountain of data which will produce by existing and the future of future brands. So you can see how animation and Marvel and politics and cyber sport and the music and the films will produce mountains of data. Mountains. And then you need to mine this data. Why mountains of data? Because, regarding the Gartner, the big next hype, it's data science, a smart advisory, autonomous vehicle, speech-to-speech translation, Internet of Things, the natural language question answering, variable, consumer 3D printing, cryptocurrency, complex event processing. They all need data. This smart city all need data. You know why? Because the humans is unpredictable. Because the drone, you know, he came from point A to point B, or machine. It's predictable. But humans, unpredictable. And humans unpredictable in any specific situation, which always bring by media, news, the horror film or comedy, sci-fi film, or any other data, or cybersport, they will mine 1,000 of millions data bytes, because only content can make person unpredictable in some way. So it will be data mining give information, then it gives data science expertise and knowledge, and then we will come to wisdom economy, which all technology now is going to. So only one threat is energy. Now the Ethereum, they need energy, the same size like a Cyprus or Turkmenistan. And Bitcoin, blockchain technology, already you can compare with the Denmark of the consumption of electricity. So for this only new infrastructure, blockchain infrastructure, we will need a lot of energy. So we need to have really smart energy, of course. But we, in the media, we have mountains of data. And always when you mine, you say, okay, what do you need, what we need to mining to be successful? The tools, you know, when it was gold rush in California, the people who make more money, they sell the tools. Doesn't matter if they find the data or not. Or it's gold, what is more important. But we in media, we have a both. We have a tools and we have a gold. Because we are the data. And we are the gold. Thank you very much. I hope I was in time.
I always wanted to be precious, Sasha. So good at last. We all are gold. Let me come back to my opening question. I think you didn't quite answer it. Why do we here in Europe are so reluctant on accepting the blockchain challenge? In Asia, it's completely different, I think. There, everybody is talking about blockchain.
I mentioned about the emerging market and emerging territories. You see that almost 2 countries dominate now in this market. It's China and Russia. So I think it's like 80% of all activity in this sector. And of course, Switzerland in some way, Zug, but only for the smart contracts based on Ethereum. So the crypto trends and everything. In Europe, it's more difficult because Ordnung. Over-regulatory. I remember when I have invested in some fintech technology, and 3 or 4 years ago, I was on tour. It's called Tech on the Air in Berlin. I was a speaker here, and I spoke with a young Berlin entrepreneur of fintech, and I say, listen, we invest in this technology. It's a very good technology. It was not blockchain, but it was a bank. And they say, no, it's not. It's impossible in Germany. I say, why? Because it's a law over-regulated. And only now, from the Germany and Switzerland, the people ask us to say, okay, can you just share this technology with us? 4 years. 4 years came from this time. But this technology is already mature in the emerging market. So that's why we go for the small technology of fintech and banking system. So how difficult come to the conservative regulatory market or sector. So blockchain, of course, but also the threat of the blockchain, of course, is automatization and everything. And why there is against Uber? Because of course there will be a lot of change, a lot of jobs, and no one politic and no one regulator want to take responsibility for this. But the emerging market, they have nothing. And they, from scratch, they try to build a new economy from scratch. That's why Wi-Fi and telecom much more better in the emerging market.
Well, of course, we open the discussion now up to everybody. So if you have questions, I hope I can see you. Please let me see if you have any question, and I'll pass it on. Sasha, one more thing. When I talk to people in the media industry, very quickly they are very interested about the issue of the piracy and to protect their content. That's one of the issues that you were mentioning in your slides too. But then they look at it and they say, well, the blockchain can't do very much for us because if you copy it privately and it is outside the blockchain, then you have the same problem again. So how can this problem be tackled when we are...
Okay. But first of all, I will ask you in the audience. I will finalize my last answer. If you want to stay in the technology society like it is, it's your choice. But please think about your kids and about the society of the future. You cannot stop progress. You cannot stop. But if you want that your kids will live in the good society, and the modern society, innovating society, let them jump to the last train. Please. Or at least remember what I talk now, and then you can think about this. Regarding the piracy, you know that the piracy is so small topic which can provide blockchain easily, and I just explained to you by .blockchain media, because it will be only one file, you cannot copy it, it will be different format, and you cannot copy outside of blockchain infrastructure. That is.
So a very easy answer to a complex question, or a complex answer to an easy question, depending on the perspective. I see we have a first volunteer, so please speak up and say who you are.
Yes, Professor Frank from Media Design University. One question, if you think about media future, do you think in a decentralized media world there will be still advertising? Is advertising still playing a vital role to media?
Good question. I think it will be decentralized media with a two form of media. I call it I'm a media, so it's like a vlogger or blogger, or I'm a media person. And let's say I use the old school word corporate media, like you see the Red Bull going with this. So in this way, of course you will be like a Red Bull. They will be. It's a good model of this Red Bull media. So they can be a co-partnership with some vloggers and bloggers, and they know exactly the audience. So of course the brands will need to go to the online as a media. Everyone became a media, and personal as a personal media, and brands will be media. And of course he will collaborate with specific audience. That's why they will need to buy a data, or I don't know, pay for data or something. It will be, they need the result. They don't need advertisement, they don't need this, they need result. But if they will know the result, they will target everyone, not with one advertisement video clip. No, they will immediately in 1 second, they will, and during the streaming, this video targeting will be, so the customer will receive his personalized advertisement. And it will be maybe audio, maybe video, maybe hologram, maybe it's what will be impressed. The brand must to impress and target the audience. And there will be millions of the way, but not like the advertisement, existing advertisement, like a time slot. Then you see the one video for everyone. It's, no, different. Customize.
There was a good question coming in on via the virtual system, and actually that would have also been one of my next questions. Your ideas look very far into the future. Can you tell something about the next step we will see for the media business?
Next step we will see for the media business, which is a lot of steps. Holograms and mixed reality, I mean the personal agent, because now we have a box of small, like this, but round box of Alexa. But it will be your favorite actress or actor will be your agent in your room, and hologram. They will easily do everything for you, just cooking with a smart things, or answering to you, or make this your homework, and it's easy. But it's called media. It's also called media because this personal assistant will tell you some story, will explain in use, will give you some, let's say, it's called advertisement and everything. He will be your agent, your personal assistant, not mobile phone, not gadget. It will be your friend forever.
Well, I just killed I can't find it on on the.
But your personal assistant can.
But let me. I expect. Thank you. I expect there will be a lot of. Resistance against the introduction of all these things, because people don't like to change. And well, you said the bank disruption will be a while to go, but of course central banks or the federal banks will not allow it easily. And if we look into China, they just banned the initial coin offerings. So it's a time frame, or how fast, how quickly these things can be can take over. I really have to make a big put a big question mark. So what's your perspective on that?
Very positive. You know, I was during all my life I just surfing from all these waves of changes, of transformation, of disruption. I was born in Soviet Union, and now it's no Soviet Union. I came to Germany as a single, standalone country, but now it's European Union. There was one currency, then there's another currency, one gadget, another gadget. So everything changes, but every changes. It's like a progress, it's like an evolution. But only one thing what I want to focus again. We now are not in evolution, we now in re-evolution. That's why I don't call it transformation, I call it metamorphosis. When from caterpillar, we will see a butterfly. This is a metamorphosis, so it's not transformation. Transformation, if you want to make for your Mercedes IMG, some tuning. This is transformation or evolution. But we have more than transformation. We in the witnesses now in time of really metamorphosis. Real.
Well, there's also, but you already mentioned some disruption or some setbacks.
I think the biggest will be mixed reality world. So mixed reality world when we will be live together with holograms, with some. I just mentioned with this. It was a game a year ago when the people with the cell phones tried to Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it will be
a while ago.
Yeah, it's not kind of, but think kind of Pokemon, but think it's in the way how now the video games are doing. The video games now, the big video games, let's say a big hype of e-sport. You know, in Germany, in Cologne, it's 350,000 people, more than any sport, more than any festival. But now they're sitting on the computer. 5 years from now, they will not sit on the computer. They will run and make a contest and shoot or something with the reality, because they will see the mixed reality. So you can see the mixed reality on this room or in your home or in the street. And you can make a storytelling, or you can make a detective film, or you can make any sci-fi film for the person who will see the mixed reality in the not on the screen, on the small screen like this. This will be mixed reality. And it will be, we already live in mixed reality because we have electricity. If you want to understand what is a real reality, you will cut all the electricity in your country or Europe, and then you will see how the dark is after 6 o'clock, how the cold is, how this is. So electricity is already part of of this reality which we think that is reality, but it's not, it's a mixed reality with reality plus electricity. So the electricity is a part of our reality. So the mixed visual reality of media reality, which I'm talking about, will be the same part of our reality next. So this will be biggest transformation. And will be based on blockchain.
Well, we are just asked if you can give a case, a real case where blockchain is used in the entertainment industry already.
I give a blockchain media already. You see the big cases. Yes. It's a good example.
What is happening to all these brokers that now are coming out of the and try to broker bitcoins and the new middlemen that are developing in the market? We don't need them anymore.
Yes, we don't need it, but you know it will be, maybe it will be quietly changes, because the young generation now, 17, 18, 19 years old, who now the biggest fan of this coding or hacking. You can hack in any way, not only hack like evils, but coding and hacking. They already live to this peer-to-peer, to the decentralized world. They are biggest consumption of this cryptocurrency and payment and transaction. You cannot never explain them why they need a third party. You cannot explain them anything why they need this, because for them it's by nature they have to go between you, me. Why we need someone between us? So you cannot explain why it's difficult and impossible to explain them why they need a senator, why they need someone in the ministry. Why? If they want to choose something, they can choose it by blockchain, they choose it. So this will be big transformation of geopolitical transformation, huge. And also instead of 220 states, we will see up to 2030, maximum 2035, it will be 7 big digital states instead of 220 existing states. So this huge transformation, not only on the financial system of existing monetary system, and of not only media society, but only geopolitical, industrial, of course.
Well, since I don't see any questions in the audience anymore, I have one here that is actually quite good for a closing remark, because can you describe blockchain in just a few words? What is blockchain?
In a few words, future, decentralize everything, make our life more happier. 3 topics.
Okay, thank you, Sasha.
No.
We
can't. Okay. You know, in the modern world, we can't live without selfie.
You should have done it in the beginning with a few more people in the room.
Vielen Dank.
Okay, thank you, Sasha.